is the Sportsline Podcast. So much to always discuss. And as you well know, folks, we always love bringing it when it comes to the best from our local area in the Hamilton, Halton area. Every once in a while, we get into something that is not just your regular football, hockey, baseball, basketball. We love the niche sports because sometimes that's where the best stories are. The sport is weightlifting, and although many of us have picked up a dumbbell once or twice in our lives, very few, if any, have accomplished what this Hamilton resident has. John Florento is an elite weightlifter who just earned 3 gold medals at the Masters World Weightlifting Championships in good old Vegas, baby. This product of the Burlington Barbell Club has been saying all along that I'm the best in the world, and we're so proud that he backed it up and did what he believes. Let's meet today's guest, John Florento. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks, Bubba. Thanks for having me.
This is spectacular, and I really do mean it. That, you know, I'm not going to say I get into a rut about it, but it's always the same old sports a lot of times, and with all their great stories. But to get into something that maybe, quite honestly, as I myself as a sportscaster, I don't know a tremendous amount, just really excites me. So to talk about your sport is a good thing. First of all, the gold.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like, I mean, on the world level.
It feels pretty good. This one was pretty good. Obviously, this is the second time doing it, but when you do it twice, it's not a fluke.
When was the first one?
The first one, I think it was in 2020 in Orlando. That one was pretty special, but I think the second one is a lot more special than
Why is the second one better?
Because I always feel like anybody could do it once. Anybody could win once. And that goes true with any sports. But if you do it two times, if you do it back to back, then it's something special.
I need to ask how much work, I mean, hours would be ridiculous to ask, but how much work goes into competing at this level? Because you could look at Canadians, you could look at regionals, you could look at American, but this is on a world level where you're getting athletes from all over the world, maybe some that you probably know of, some that maybe you don't know of. But what does it take to get into that world level?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of training hours, getting used to eating healthy. Like that's a big one because it is a weight class oriented sport, but it takes a lot of commitment. My wife knows, my kids know, they support me. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it.
Now, I'm looking at you right now, and there are not many people that are watching this podcast right now that will ever believe that you are in what they call a master's class.
Yeah.
Which means over 45?
I'm 46, so yeah. So the Masters World starts at 35 years old. Yes. So I'm 46, and I won.
How on earth are you 46?
It's the Asian blood. It's the Asian blood. Yeah. I've been blessed with it. My parents don't look anything close to their age, and it's something I'm blessed with.
And your weight class?
60 kilos.
Okay.
60 kilos.
And that's were you have been steady?
Yeah, so I walk around at about 61 kilos, closer to the day, maybe 2 weeks out. I'll start shedding that last kilo down by paying attention to weight and paying attention to water. And then come the day of competition, 2 hours to weigh in, and there you go.
You're going to help me out here because before we go any further, and I've watched weightlifting my whole life because it's amazing to see the strength of a man or a woman with the spotlight and the camera on them looking at this barbell. Sometimes it's packed full of weights. And you're,
absolutely.
Right? And all that goes into it, right? First of all, I'm going this basic. Clean. What does that mean?
Okay, so the clean is the second lift that we do in a competition. The clean, it starts from the floor, and we bring the barbell from the floor to our shoulders. Okay. So that would be a clean. That's half of the second part of the lift. So usually with the second part of the lift, it's called clean and jerk. So that would be the first part, and the jerk would be from shoulder to overhead.
So clean, up,
to your shoulders.
And drop, and then that's it.
No, we would keep it on our shoulders,
Okay.
and we're waiting to finish the next movement, which is the jerk, which is shoulder to overhead. So it's all one continuous.
But when you just do the
movement.
clean, is there a time limit that you have to hold it at? Or?
No, just as long as you get your elbows through, all your joints are locked, and you stand it up, then it's completed.
And then the jerk, boom.
Yeah, shoulder
that
to
up.
overhead.
Okay, and then again, I'll ask the same question. When you hold it above, is there a time limit that you have to have it at?
No, just as long as you remain motionless, the barbell's not moving, your feet aren't moving, all the joints are locked, and it's correctly overhead. Once the 3 judges are satisfied with the lift and you remain motionless, then they give you the down signal, and then you could turn it.
Glad you brought up judges.
Yes.
When you're judging, what are the judges looking for?
So there are certain rules. The biggest one that they're looking for is completion of the lift, making sure that the lifts are clean. So they're looking for proper lockouts. We don't want to have the bar overhead and then our elbows bend. So the elbows, they talk about the lockout. So we want a nice clean lockout, not a pressing movement, right?
I mean, Johnny Obvious here.
Yeah.
At your weight class, what's the most you've ever put above your head?
I've put 116 kilos over my head at one point. Yeah.
Would that be on Fahrenheit? What was that weight in terms of pounds?
Pounds? Oh, probably. I don't work with pounds, but maybe 240, 250.
Okay, yeah, because I think it's 2.2 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
That. Wow, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Right. And when this weight is above you like that too, because I see sometimes the stance, right?
Yes.
Like that too, and you see the shaking and the holding. What is that like? Is that excruciating?
In the beginning it was.
Yeah?
In the beginning it was, but with all the training that we do, we learn to get comfortable with all those uncomfortable positions, having double body weight sometimes over our head, and to have that motionless. I mean, these are things that we train for sure. And it gets uncomfortable sometimes, but at this level, you got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
That's a great saying. That's a great saying, because I would imagine there are times where you are at maybe a peak weight limit where, sometimes you can't get it up.
For sure.
You got to just keep working on getting up there, I guess.
Yeah, I've passed out my fair share of times during competitions where it was too heavy or I didn't place it in the right spot and passed out for a couple of minutes and and then you just get back to it and you just chase it. Amazing.
Okay, and I'll go back to the whole what I said in the beginning about a lot of kids. I mean, you're wearing Jordans, like I want to dream of wearing. I want to be a basketball player. I want to be this. Is this what you dreamt of when you were a child?
Not at all. Not at all. I played a lot of team sports in high school. I played basketball. I played volleyball and rugby, and I continued on with that in college. It was never a thing. I actually got into the sport through the sport of CrossFit. I started CrossFit in 2010, and the barbell was included in some of these workouts, and I was really good at that, and I wanted to be good at that. And it was a weight-oriented sport. Right, I'm a small guy. I'm not a big guy. I'm not 6 foot, 200 pounds. Right, I'm 5'6" on a good day and 140 pounds. Right,
putting 250 over your head.
So that's how I started. But I've always been athletic pretty much since a kid. But it was mostly the team sports.
So the CrossFit hits you. I got to ask here. So the CrossFit, you said it was like 2010.
About 2010.
Okay, yeah. So you're into your 30s already.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden you're picking up a brand new sport.
Yes.
As we age sometimes, it's real tough to learn new things.
For sure.
Right? And what was that process like, changing yourself from, all the things that you've done in your athletic career to saying, I'm going to commit to weightlifting?
Yeah. Well, it's funny how the whole competitive weightlifting started. So I was a competitive CrossFit athlete. The part that I wasn't good at was the barbell stuff, like the Olympic lifting. I was good at the gymnastics part, but I was never good at the weightlifting. And my coach at the time said, you need to work with a weightlifting coach because this is the part we need to be good at. My first 2 weeks, I fell in love. I fell in love with how technically beautiful the lifting was, how hard the training was, and I never went back to CrossFit.
Because it must have been hard. Like,
yeah, definitely hard at this age, right? So
I guess I'm presuming coaching, having a good coach must really help.
100%, 100%. The coaching helped, and just knowing like the better I am at this, just the more comfortable I felt with all these heavier weights, you know?
How long did you start to say, I'm comfortable in this?
I think my first month,
Wow.
that weightlifting coach told me you could be a provincial champion. Because I originally got into it just to be good at CrossFit, but then he convinced me that I could be something in the sport.
I hate hammering on this because it blows me away because we've all got bills and jobs and stuff to pay and whatever, but now all of a sudden your passion takes you somewhere completely where you probably didn't even think it would end up 10 years prior.
Absolutely.
Right? And that meant probably some life changes and adjustments and commitment to, because you want to be good, you just don't want to do it, you want to be good at it.
For sure.
Like, what kind of commitments did you have to make?
I had to make a lot of commitments. Like, obviously this is not a full-time, I'm not a full-time athlete. You know, I have a regular job, I have a family. All that stuff is important to me too, right? I'm just blessed to have people around me, especially my family, that understands that chasing goals is an important thing. Whether it's Olympic weightlifting or one of my daughters is a dancer. Like, she wants to pursue those dreams. And for us, me and my wife, it's important to like chase those dreams and make every sacrifice. And if that means training at 10 p.m. or not having that, you know, that pizza that we were talking about, like on a regular basis, all those are sacrifices that are necessary, because at the end of the day, especially with this one, especially with competitions like this, when you hear that national anthem, and you hear it and it's because of you, it's the greatest feeling, and it's worth all the sacrifice.
Is there an Olympics for this?
No, there's there is an Olympic, but it's at the senior level, not the masters level. And it's incredible to watch. Like, you could turn on the Olympics, you know what's going on. They're lifting ridiculous amounts of weight, and it's something that I wish a lot more people would get into.
Okay, so where you are at this point of your career, how would someone in their teens find this sport?
Well, more and more now, a lot of like competitive sports, they're introducing Olympic lifting into strength training, because strength training now is imperative in all team sports, especially when you get to the higher levels. So a lot of these sports, they require their athletes to learn how to power clean, because it's a dynamic movement. So I actually also coach at a gym, Burlington Barbell. I'm one of the head coaches there, and we're starting a kids program this October, where we're introducing weightlifting for any teens that are interested in learning the sport.
Can you, I mean, feel free brag. Where?
So I work at Burlington Barbell.
Okay.
It's located in Burlington, out of CrossFit Connection. It's on Harvester Road, just off Walkers and Harvester. And we run multiple classes of CrossFit, weightlifting, powerlifting, strongman. And like I said, in October, we're starting a brand new teens program for weightlifting, where even if you have no experience, we're going to teach you how to lift safely and dynamically.
You talked about diet. When you're in competition mode, where does that go to?
Oh, sometimes it could go to like a dark place, you know, like I love food. Food is one of my passions, but when it gets closer to competition, like I pay attention to everything that I eat. Like I drop a lot of stuff, like the fried stuff and all the junk food, and it becomes very vanilla as far as diet is concerned. Like, I'm eating lean protein, you know, rice and vegetables 7 days a week.
Because, yeah, and I was going to ask you that because I've seen, okay, I mean, it's a different sports, like Michael Phelps, a swimmer, world-class swimmer, multiple gold medals, complete domination of the sport.
Right.
And one day I read about his routine, and he eats like 7 times a day.
It's crazy.
Like these massive amounts of food, like well more than I do.
Yeah.
Now, and I ended up with this, and he ended up with gold medals, right? But I mean, he's in the pool working 12 hours a day too.
Exactly.
So I give him the props there.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. Steak, like I mean, even The Rock, I've read about him. You're having a steak at 8 in the morning.
Absolutely.
Like how does your body take in all of this and still look like you?
Right. Yeah. Like it's a totally different sport. Like when I'm training hard and I'm not close to a cycle, I'll be eating a lot just to fuel my body for these long, gruesome workouts. But when it gets closer to competition day, because it is a weight class oriented sport, we have to dial it down. It's similar to like wrestlers and MMA fighters and boxers, right? You'll see them eat a lot during training, but when it comes to time to like weigh in, they totally cut it down.
Is there like an actual diet that you follow?
No,
or do you just know your body?
I know my body. Like I had a hard time when I first started, but now being 12 years into it, I have it down to a science.
You talk about CrossFit and its importance to you. Just for the people that are learning, again, what is CrossFit?
So CrossFit, it's so I guess it started in the early 2000s. It's basically a group class where they combine like gymnastics, cardio, Olympic weightlifting, all these different types of movements, and it's basically a 1-hour workout of just putting your body to the test, and just a different way to work out than your normal Globo gym where you're going into machines and doing 3 sets of this, right? Whereas CrossFit, it's like, here's the workout, go, 3, 2, 1, go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's good that it sets you up for success. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Speaking of success, let's talk about the accomplishments that you've had in relatively a short career. We're talking provincial championships. We're talking about world championships as well, to Canadian titles as well, to the art of competition.
Yes.
How does that fuel you, or how do you fuel it?
Oh, I live for it. Like I said, I've played competitive sports pretty much all my life, and just being able to put all your hard work to the test, I think that's the greatest thing that I just strive for in competition, especially in these international ones. Just being able to wear the Canadian flag, represent not just yourself, but represent your country. Like, these are things that are all important to me, right? And just fueling the competition, like all the people around me. Like I said, I'm a coach, and I have like all these athletes that look up to me. I have athletes that look up to me. My family looks up to me, and it's one of those things that just fuels me to just keep on going and perform at my best.
Along the way, there cannot always be success. There are some times where things don't go your way. And just reading a little bit about you too, there was, some events where maybe things didn't go your way. How has that propelled you to become and continue to be a champion?
Well, I think it's one of the things that fuels me the most. For example, last year at the Pan American Championships in Costa Rica, I didn't set a total. I was expected to win. The person that won definitely, in my mind, wasn't better than me, but he was better than me on that day. But I failed to make a lift. I failed to make one of the required lifts, and I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken pretty much for a week. But after a week, it just fueled me like, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. And you hear a lot of professional athletes say, like, you can't taste success until you've tasted failure, right? So
there's something that really caught my eye. Laura, if we can get to that video, and I'm going to read what's on this thing. I just thought it was amazing. And,
for sure.
And hopefully it motivates people. It's to the point about I want pizza. It's like, and like you, and apparently you're losing it. Like you can help. Maybe you can help me out here. And it's like, I know you. It's in your head. Like, can you just this whole incident that happened? Can you explain that?
Okay, so just some context to this video. So this was after a weightlifting competition. I'm always trying to find the next challenge. So in this video, I decided 4 weeks before this race to do a full marathon. I'm not a runner, but I like the challenge. So I trained for 4 weeks, and I did a marathon. I hopped into the Hamilton marathon, and oh man, it was one of the most difficult things to ever do. Not only was it outside my comfort zone, but I wasn't prepared to like feel the feelings that I was feeling. Like, I was feeling defeated. I wanted to quit. Thank God my wife was there, you know, helping me throughout it. But these are the random thoughts that go into your head. Like, I think I had an hour to go in that race, and all I was thinking about was food. Just to kind of trick my brain into like not thinking about how much pain I was in.
What did she say to you?
She just said, I know what you're going through. Like, your mind's playing tricks on you. You're ready for this. You've trained for this. You know, you have the mentality for this, right? And some of the things that I did in weightlifting, like digging deep down, and like after like missing a first lift, like you got to dig down, forget all that's happened, and worry about the next lift. And it was sort of like that with the marathon. Just, you know, take each step at a time, 10 meters at a time, 1 kilometer at a time, until it was the finish. But it was one of those things that was like, I think I might have came last. I don't know, but I finished. And that's a great accomplishment for me, for like training for 4 weeks for it.
So basically, you're telling me, especially in a sport that we look at from the outset and say this is so incredibly physically based,
yes,
that there's an incredible amount of mental that goes into this.
100%,
right?
100%. Like I said, like with the weightlifting, the lift, it's done in 3 seconds. It's done in 3 to 5 seconds. It's quick to forget. It's quick to, you know, recover from it. The marathon was a little bit different, but you channeled that same sense of, okay, dig deep. It's going to be over soon, and just get through it.
You've mentioned her a couple of times, and we just saw the video there. There's someone that, I guess, no matter what you do, is on your side.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about her?
Yeah, so my wife-to-be in 4 days.
4 days?
4 days. Martine. I met her a few years ago through weightlifting, actually. Through weightlifting, I met her at the Canadian Championships in Moncton. And we became friends through social media, and then she started training at my gym. Her coach was one of my coaches as well. And then we fell in love. We fell in love like through weightlifting, and we had, you know, we both had daughters, and we both had that similar passion of chasing your dreams. And now 4 days, you know, I could fulfill another dream by marrying the love of my life.
It's got to be amazing, because a lot of times we fall in love, or we have boyfriends or mates or partners, and they are outside of your passion. They accept your passion. We accept their passions. But when your passions are aligned, there's got to be a strength in that.
Oh, absolutely. Because she understands, we both understand the struggle of it, right? She's been through competitions where she hasn't done well, but she's also done competitions that she's done really well. And I can feel those same emotions, and I know what she's going through. And like, if she doesn't have a good meet, or if I don't have a good meet, we know how to kind of interact with each other. We know how much it means. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, right? We sign up for the next one. We keep on training, and we keep on going. And when you have somebody that supports you and they understand every aspect of it, it makes it so much easier. I almost feel like you're given a leg up on some of the athletes if they don't have that.
What's next, John?
Well, I am going to get married in 4 days. But other than that, take a little bit of a break. We have a couple of competitions lined up for next year. El Salvador Pan American Championships and defending World Championships in Athens, Greece next year.
Well, I want to wish you good luck upon all of that. Again, I'm going to give you another opportunity, please. Where people want to hook up with you, align with you, train with you, again, how do they do that?
For sure. It's at CrossFit Connection in Burlington. We run our club out of that same gym, Burlington Barbell. I'm one of the head coaches there. We run multiple evening and afternoon classes. Just check out the website. Come join us for a free workout, see what we're all about. Even if you don't have any experience, we'll teach you how to move safely, and we'll teach you how to move great.
You are the perfect example of someone that did exactly what, no experience, and you dove right into it.
I appreciate that.
Right? Congratulations, continued success. Keep in contact, please. We want to know more about this, because I want 3 more of these, buddy.
We will. We will. We will.
Congratulations. Thanks for joining us on the Sportsline Podcast.
Thanks, Bubba.
All right. That's your Sportsline Podcast for the day. And if you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports. We love goal-getters. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline Podcast, we want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. What about that hype button? There's some new hype button I'm hearing about. If you do have something to say, we always appreciate your comments. You know that. For the wonderful people that make the Sportsline Podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you real soon.